This is the future.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, Green here and welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to prove you how Vixen's passive is lying to you. It's going to increase your damage indeed, but not in the way that it claims. So in this video I'm going to explain you why and how it exactly works and what's the difference between damage and attack in Injustice 2 Mobile. First up, we got the increase in damage that we can see on the Raven passive. You're going to get a 100% increase in damage when you hit a character for each stack of darkness. This is going to be raw damage and is going to simply double the damage that you would deal if darkness was inactive to an extent. Then we got my boy Shazam over here, who's going to increase the attack. So when somebody says that it increases your attack, not the damage, then it's going to be a far inferior thing to the increase in damage, because the increase in attack in Injustice 2 Mobile is going to be sadly calculated just out of the base attack of the characters. So for example, Shazam is going to buff himself, giving himself a 100% increase, which means he's going to double his base damage, which means he's going to give himself another 2000 attack in this scenario at my level. So those are two very different things, because the damage increase will scale with artifacts, will scale with gear bonuses, while the attack increase will not scale with anything except for your base attack. For this test we're going to use my boy Swamp Thing to test things out. First test is going to be no gears and no artifacts, so that the only way he can deal damage is going to be the base attack, and we're going to test it by the value of the super move, because the super move is going to be something that's going to be exactly the same in any scenario, because it can't crit or lethal. The only thing that can influence it is going to be the combo, other than the Vixen passive, which is the thing that we're going to test out, and I'm going to make sure that every single time I use the super move I'm going to have 0 combo, so the only thing influencing it is going to be the Vixen super move. This is going to be how Vixen is going to look throughout all the fights. Her passive is going to be like level 4. So let's say this will roughly increase the damage that we deal by 100%, so at least double. It's a little over double, but let's say at least double the damage increase. And because we are going to stack it only to 3 stacks. We're not going to go all the way to 4 stacks. We're going to go to 3 stacks. So we got a 105% increase in damage. But let's just say a 100. Let's just say we're supposed to deal like double the damage in theory if this is active on the enemy. And we're going to have a beta club on her, so that coupled with the Steel Claws passive that's going to reduce the enemy's defense, it's going to in total apply 3 debuffs, so we can get to the point where the enemy has 3 debuffs on them, 3 negative effects, so that we would get in theory a 100% increase in damage. Okay, so going on with the first test, as you can see it's the gearless Swamp Thing, nothing else on there, and we're going to always do super move on Robin so that the damage doesn't fluctuate in every shape or form on the same battle of the campaign. And as you can see right now, when you have no gears and no artifact equipped, it looks like it's actually going to function properly. It looks like it really doubles and a little bit more art damage, so Vixen's passive is working, right? Let's keep going and see where this goes. This is how Swamp Thing is going to look for the second test that we're running. I have equipped all his gears. He's not built in any way, shape or form, but you can see that his attack value has doubled. And we're going to have the same rules. Use the super move on no combo, first of all without any debuffs on the enemy, and second of all with some debuffs on the enemy. Okay, so now running the second test, exactly the same rule as previously. We're going to always do the super move on Robin, but now we're going to actually have the gears on Swamp Thing. So you can see already a little bit of a difference. It's no longer double the damage, even though we didn't get much more attack. We got double the attack that we had in the previous fight, and it's no longer double the damage, but it's not a huge difference. We can let this slide, right? No, because this evolves into a far bigger issue, as we'll see here in a second. This is how something is going to look for the third test. It's exactly the same gears, but now we have added on an All Blades that gives him some attack from it, and it's also going to provide him with a stack. Yet again, we're going to do a super move on only 1 stack of All Blades once without any of the Vixen's debuffs, and then we're going to do it again with Vixen debuffs on, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so look, we got Power Girl in the last fight, but that's just the result of me that stuff being dumped, because we'll have a Sword of Salvation on her, and that will help us clear stuff that's not Robin, and help us build more power towards the super move faster, but will not influence the Swamp Thing damage on the super move in any way, shape or form. We're going to have All Blades here. And we're going to do it with and without the Vixen's passive once each time. And as you can see, we got a little bit of a problem on our hands. At this point, the damage difference is getting lower and lower. Boy, it was only really as much as it said when there was the only base attack to put into the equation. I wonder why that is. Okay, so overall, let me explain this again, what we found out during those tests. The only moment where this passive actually did what it says on the card was where in the equation was absolutely nothing but the base attack of the character. And as we kept added attack bonuses that would increase the damage from other places, like from the gear rolls, from the all blades, we start to get less and less good results. And you know why that is? Because this passive is going to work the exact same way as the Shazam's passive. This is not going to grant you more damage for every negative effect that's applied to the opponent. This is going to grant you more base attack for each negative effective that's going to be applied to the opponents. So look, I wouldn't have minded this too much if it actually said the correct thing from release, because at the end of the day, if that's the case, at 4 stars it's going to be a little bit better than Shazam still. And Shazam is a pretty solid character for the most part, and is going to still be amazing in league rates and still decent in solo rates. But the problem is, this is in no way, shape or form the way they advertised it. And this character has been on an early access phase for quite a while. Well, people, including myself, could spend real money to buy her. And they literally sold a product that is lying to you, ladies and gentlemen. The Vixen's passive is lying to you. It's not going to be 35% more damage. It's going to be 35% more base attack, or however much percentage you're going to have at that damage value. And this is going to be still very good in league rates, but in solo rates, the more attack you're going to have from artifacts and other sources, the lower this damage increase is going to actually be. And this is just sad. This is just very sad, because this looks like a character with so much potential, and even in this scenario, it's still a good character, I would say. Again, if you consider Shazam a good character for the buff that he gives in terms of attacks, you should by default consider Vixen also a good character, but it is by no means working as intended or as advertised. So there's 2 scenarios when it comes to this. First, it's the scenario where they just did this in order to clickbait people. Or second of all, this was done by a person that does not understand the difference between damage or negative effects and either implemented it wrong or worded it wrong. But regardless of the matter, I think that everybody that has purchased Vixen is going to be entitled to a refund unless they fix this. So fix it, please. But yeah, this was for this one. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.
This is the future.